So we're about a month into the garden. It's been a very hot day, which you can see we've had some good progress going on here. A few setbacks too, but then again it's gardening, so that's half the fun. You can come over here, we'll start at this end. You can see the giant tomatillo that has taken over, and it's small little one right in front of it, so gotta have them in pairs, keep them happy. But our shiso peppers kind of getting crowded out a little bit. You see them. Still producing peppers. They are freaking delicious. And then in the back, see, we got the Hungarian pepper. There we go. See him there. He's got about another day, and then I'll go ahead and pull him off. But we've been picking little cherry tomatoes off of this little guy. Unfortunately, in the last week, we've been having some issues with what I'm thinking are either squirrels or mice. You can actually see as we go down the bok choy, I've had some bugs, so I'm going to be putting some diatomaceous earth out. But this right here, I'm almost positive is some type of little rodent. So we went ahead and put out some odor detractors and a couple of little sound traps, and hopefully that'll keep them from coming back. But you can see the beans are starting to take off and climb up. Took them a little bit to get used to the sun, the heat. It has been very hot. We're already in triple digits here. But as you can see, the nice front row of the marigolds is coming in. They're getting big. They'll produce nice big barrier for most of the pests. Our pumpkin here is looking a little droopy today. It just needs some water and probably another set of shades put up. Unfortunately, I've had to put up several shades because this year we've been a lot hotter than we were in the past. And with that heat, we had a tiny issue with our radishes. Now you'll notice this radish is huge. I mean, the leaves are normally these large leaves that stick up, and that's about it. But you see how this one actually went ahead and got very, very tall. It actually went ahead and flowered and then let off seed already. What this is called is bolting, and it'll happen with certain overages of nutrients, or if the heat or sun get too intense for the particular vegetable that you're looking at. So unfortunately, the only thing these guys are going to be really good for at the moment is going to be for seeds. So you can see here on one of the big ones, we're letting that go into flower, and you can see the little seed pods pop up, and once those are ready, I'll go ahead and collect the seeds like I've done here on this one. But after that, you can actually take the whole thing out, because right now it's not going to get much bigger than that. You can see that it looks like a regular root, nothing like a radish should actually look like. As sad as that is, it's not really a total loss. The rest of the plant is completely edible. The stalk is edible. You can go ahead and saute those, put them in, boil them like green beans. The leaves you can put into salads or any type of mixture where you'd have that type of foliage in. The root itself is still technically a radish, so you can eat that as well. Collect them all, pickle them, or have a little snack. Get a little there. You can see here our bunching onions. Now those were from seed, so it's going to take them a while to get as big as these guys over here, but they're going along and they're actually coming through pretty well. So what we're going to end up doing is on this row here and on this back row here where all these lovely purple flowers are, once I finish getting all the seeds off of them, is I'm actually going to take everything out like we did just now. I'll take one of these guys too, because this one's already halfway eaten. And once I get that row cleared out, what I'll do is I'll reseed it, and I'll go ahead and put in some carrots and maybe another row of radishes along with it, maybe beets, we'll see. Depends on how many seeds I have left. But you can see that the beets are actually turning out really well. These beet greens I've been using in our food, just the greens themselves. And they're like a nice mustard green almost. And then waiting for the rest of the beet to grow. You can actually see a pretty good nice one right there. Let's see, we might have gotten lucky. Let's see. This last beet, yeah, we did. Now that is what a radish should actually look like. They get much bigger, but that at least is a good radish. So we'll go ahead and take that one inside and put it with the rest of the ones that we've already gone and harvested for this year. Take a look at the rest of them. see if there are any other good size ones. Look like they're all about the same. So we'll go ahead and leave those guys to finish seeding. We'll take out a couple of the small ones. And what we'll do is we'll actually go ahead and clear this whole aisle out. Make sure it's all raked out and pulled. Get all of this topsoil crud that's been falling on, just leaf debris and such. And then once that's all cleaned out, what we'll do is we will actually go ahead and make another furrow and plant the carrots and the radishes together. That way the radish can grow quickly. They'll create some space and allow the carrots to get even bigger for the fall. And then if we come back here, you can actually see we're finally getting the squash trellis. That's the long squash. And then our espadrilles doing pretty well over here. It's a little wilty, but not bad. And then our carrots have come in. Went ahead and harvested these 2 rows of carrots already. These are the ones that are left. But I'll be putting another set in. They go pretty quickly. About a month and a half is about how long I had them in, maybe 2 months. And they were excellent. Turned them into soup. Big onions, still using those guys as chives. We won't touch those until the end of the year, but you can definitely see how big that stalk is getting at the bottom. So should be a nice size onion at the end. And then we have another tomatillo over here and our yellow squash, and then about 3 good size zucchinis that are off to the side. Again, they got a little wilted today. We were about 100, 101 today. So I'm definitely gonna have to put up an extra shade for these guys. But the really nice one that I just found out today was I finally got my flower starting on our eggplant. So we'll actually have some eggplant soon. But just wanted to give a little heads up on things. Talk about the bolting. If it happens in your garden, don't worry, it's no big deal. Like I said, the majority of that plant is already edible. You don't need the big bulb. If you can get them, of course, it's great to have them, but otherwise, my big thing is if I can't get them to get the actual vegetable I'm looking for, I'll collect seed first. That way I have plenty for next year, and then replant in and just go for another round. So we'll go ahead and do that. You can see just a quick one here. We actually got our acorn squash, which was from seed. I didn't think it was going to come up, but last week it decided it wanted to pop its head up. So we'll just keep it nice and covered and watered well, and hopefully it'll do well. Tomatoes are doing good. I did have a little bit of an issue with, again, looks like either a mouse or a squirrel. I thought it was tomato worms originally, but I've gone through the whole plant and haven't found one. So either they took off or something happened to them, but I'm almost positive it's little mice. And last but not least, just as a fun part, this little guy right here is going to be our loofahs, which is the loofah gourd, which you have in the bathroom and stuff. So kind of cool that actually did come up. But like I said, we'll go ahead and re-sow the areas that we've already done. See, we have a whole spot in here to go ahead and put in some new carrots, radishes, maybe another set of these bok choy. They tasted really good. They did gain some pests, but hopefully we'll be able to take care of that in the future. All right, checking back in. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good evening.